Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lily if you're new here. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I've been getting more into watching movies lately. I've never been like a movie person, and recently I started like watching movies that stuck out to me as something I wanted to watch versus just watching along with other people. I think that had to do with it. I was like watching not my type of movies. And I'll still watch movies with other people, of course. Some of these are like from watching movies with other people, but I'm also like kind of experimenting with watching stuff that actually sounds interesting to me, which when you say it out loud it makes sense, huh? But yeah, so I decided to review 5 movies in this video. They're not really related at all, but it's just gonna be like the order I watched them since I started like intentionally watching movies again. Let's get started. The first movie I like watched with the intention of like I'm going to watch this movie and enjoy it or try to enjoy it was actually The Notebook. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and read this summary of all these movies off Google because I'm gonna be honest, most of these are movies that like everyone I know has seen already, but like I just want to give you guys an overview, so if at one day I get to a movie that like not everyone has seen, I can give an overview and you kind of know what I'm talking about. So this like summary for The Notebook says, in 1940s South Carolina, mill worker Noah Calhoun and rich girl Allie are desperately in love, but her parents don't approve. When Noah goes off to serve in World War II, it seems to mark the end of their love affair. In the interim, I don't know how to say that, Allie becomes involved with another man, but when Noah returns to their small town years later, on the cusp of Allie's marriage, it soon becomes clear that their romance is anything but over. Yeah, so my thoughts on this movie. This movie was so good. Like maybe like top favorite movies for sure. I thought it was beautiful. The cinematography was beautiful. Did I just say cinematography? Cinematography, I caught that, thank you. Was beautiful, and like the shots are beautiful, and the acting, Ryan Gosling, doesn't matter though, that's not the point of this review. The point is that it was like a beautiful story, and it was so sad. I did go in with like the knowledge that I might cry watching it, and I was like, I started watching it and I was like, okay, this is sweet, but I'll be fine. I sobbed like a baby, like insert picture. Yeah, I literally was sobbing like a baby, so there is that. It's a little emotional, but yeah, like what can I say, it was so good, and it was kind of long, I'm not gonna lie, but like it captivated my attention the entire time. I actually wrote a review on Letterboxd for all these movies, and I'll like let you guys know my rating for that review, and I'll like read my little summary. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter, and if you want to follow me on Letterboxd as well, here's my handle in case I continue the series. But yeah, this is what I said after I watched this movie and I reviewed it. 5 stars. I don't know if I'm an easy critic or not. Me personally, I just think I'm a fair critic, but some people might say otherwise. I'm new to this, but I said 5 stars, and I said beautifully done, great acting, and the story was just so wholesome, which is like my type of movie, my type of story. I said it definitely made me feel through the entire movie and kept me engaged. I cried and cried and cried, to say the least. So yeah, that was my review on The Notebook. Okay, the next movie that I watched was The Parent Trap. This one was one that I had heard of like many times before, obviously, but I had never watched it before, and I'd never like had the intentions of watching it. I was just like, oh, classic Parent Trap, right? I'm pretty sure I can figure out what happens. But I was with like my friend Sophia, and she was like, you have to watch it, and I was like, okay, fine. So this is like a little summary of The Parent Trap. I watched the newer version, which it was still like old-timey, but it was the one with the little like redheads. What's her name? Oh, Lindsay Lohan. Yeah, I watched that version, so just so you know. This says, in the update of a 1961 film, twins Annie and Hallie are strangers until happenstance unites them. The preteen girls' divorced parents, Nick and Elizabeth, are living on opposite sides of the Atlantic, each with one child, which is crazy. After meeting at camp, American Hallie and British-raised Annie engineer an identity swap, giving both the chance to spend time with the parent they've missed. If the scheme works, it might just make the family whole again. Okay, this movie was so cute. I understand why everyone's seen it but me. I'm glad I watched, would recommend. The little actress, Lindsay Lohan, she did so good. It was believable, her accent slayed. I thought it was so cute and wholesome. I thought, again, the shots were good. I like the old-timey feel of it. I don't know if that's just because it was made in, what year was it made? Okay, it was made in 1998, so that might be like the reason for the like old-timey grainy feel, but I loved, it was cute. I would watch again. It was like entertaining, captivating. I love the parents. They're both just like so beautiful and so fun, and they're like good parents, you know, except why did you split up your kids across the Atlantic? But you know, for the plot, right? So yeah, I just thought it was good. Here was my review on Letterboxd. I gave it 4 stars, probably because I really liked it, but because like it didn't like make me like feel like I was deeply affected. I guess like The Notebook, like after The Notebook I was like, which maybe I'm dramatic, but this is what I said. I gave it 4 stars, and I said, super cute. What a talented little actress to play 2 opposing roles so young, and the relationship between the parents was just so sweet. 4 stars because the cinematic aspect of it didn't particularly stick out to me in any good or bad way. Really cute though. So yeah, like I said, it was like old-timey and cute. The shots were cute, but it wasn't like anything that was like, wow, this movie is just gorgeous to watch, and wow, I'm gonna be stuck with this movie in my head forever, like The Notebook. So yeah, that was my thoughts on The Parent Trap. Okay, the third movie I'll be reviewing is 10 Things I Hate About You. This was another one that I just hadn't seen, and apparently everyone's seen it, so like I had to watch it. And here's a summary. Recently, I learned that this was like a remake of like, or a retelling of a Shakespeare. I think of Hamlet. Yeah, which shocks me. Like I did not get that at all. But also I just saw Hamlet for the first time, so maybe that's why. The summary is, Kat Stratford is beautiful, smart, and quite abrasive to most of her fellow teens, meaning that she doesn't attract many boys. Unfortunately for her younger sister, Bianca, house rules say that she can't date until Kat has a boyfriend. So, strings are pulled to set the dour damsel up for a romance. Soon Kat crosses paths with the handsome new arrival Patrick Veronica. Will Kat let her guard down enough to fall for the effortlessly charming Patrick? Okay, my thoughts on this one. It just wasn't my style, personally. Like, immediately from the intro, I was like, this, like, high school environment. I was like, just, it wasn't my style. But I enjoyed watching it. Like, after I adjusted to it, I was like, okay, this is nice. I like. Throughout the whole movie, like, I was entertained, but I was like, classic, predicted. Yep. I thought the dad's rules were so dumb. I'm sure everyone does. I'm sure you're supposed to think that. But I was like, she can't date until she dates, but if she dates, she can date. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. But whatever. Yeah, that could be just like a character thing. I'm sure some parents are actually like that. So there was that. I thought that was kind of dumb. I liked the little monologue at the end, the 10 things she hates about him. That was fun. I don't know, I feel like it was very accurate to time period. Yeah, I liked it. Like, yeah, I liked it. Like, if someone asked me to watch it with them, I would say yes, and I would watch it and I would enjoy it. But like, it wasn't my favorite movie I've ever seen, I guess. This is what I wrote on my Letterboxd review, and my rating for this one was 3 stars, which, I mean, lines up, because I said like I liked it and I would watch it again, but it was like, in my opinion, mid. But I can see how it's a classic. Don't cancel me. I said I'm glad I watched it. It's just not the best movie I've ever seen. The sexual relationships between the students and teachers so casually caught me off guard. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was weird, bruh. Like the opening scene with the principal and the guy, I was like, What is she writing, bro? Anywho, the storyline was easy to follow, I guess. Yeah, apparently I thought it was so mid. I watched this one a little bit ago, but yeah, like, good. Just good. Next movie. Oh my gosh, the next movie I reviewed or watched to review, actually I would have watched it anyway, was The Blind. It was recently out in theaters. I don't know if it still is, but it is the story of Phil Robertson and like how he found his faith and everything. I was so excited to watch this because I'm the biggest Duck Dynasty fan. Like, I grew up watching Duck Dynasty as a comfort show, and I still watch it as a comfort show. And like, when you watch it that long, you pick up little snippets about like not the characters, the people and their past and their relationships. And I follow them all on social media too, so I'm like keeping up with their lives. And when they announced this movie, I was like, more Duck Dynasty. I'm so excited. And so like, I was watching it the whole time and I was like, that lines up, oh my gosh, baby size drinking tea, like that's the cutest thing I've ever seen. And I found like Easter eggs. Like, I noticed how the little actor who played baby Willie is actually Willie's grandson, John Luke's son, John Shepherd. And you could tell it was filmed like a little bit ago because I follow him on Instagram, and like I see John Shepherd's like bigger than a toddler now, and in the movie he's kind of a toddler. So it was just like so cool for me to see, and I just loved it. Like, I literally loved it. I got ahead of myself. Let me tell you guys the movie summary. In 1960s Louisiana, future Duck Dynasty star Phil Robertson falls in love and starts a family, but his demons soon threaten to tear everyone apart. As he seeks to conquer the shame of his past, he ultimately finds redemption in an unlikely place. Yeah, I just loved it. And that's another thing about me, and like why I grew up on Duck Dynasty, is that I grew up in Louisiana, and so like the culture that I like that you would observe from watching that reality TV show and from watching this movie is so accurate to real life and like so true to like living in Louisiana and growing up. And the accents, don't even get me started on this movie. If you can't tell already, I loved it. I know it's controversial, like some people really didn't like it and thought it was bad, but me personally, I loved it and I thought it was so good. It was so accurate to culture, and to like everything they've been saying is their story all along. It just like all lines up from the very beginning episodes of Duck Dynasty, which I like rewatch casually, you know. It was just so good. And the accent, especially all the accents, but especially the woman who plays the oldest version of Kay, let me look up her name, Amelia Eve. She has the most phenomenal, like, accurate accent, true to like Louisiana culture and true to Kay Robertson herself. Like, she sounds like her, and I was just watching her and I was like, this woman is so good. So yeah, I just love this movie. It was really heavy to watch. Like, they went through some heavy stuff that they documented and shared in that movie. And like watching it again, it was a long movie, and watching it again would be tough because like just all the heavy themes throughout the movie, like the substance and everything. But like, I would watch it again, definitely, just because like I'm such a fangirl, bro. Like, I just loved it so much. I just loved it. I just did. And I just loved Duck Dynasty. Heavy movie, really good shot. I thought the acting was so good, and all these actors are kind of like underground. Like, I just had never really heard of any of them before, but they all did really well. The guy who played like Phil for most of his life, he did really well. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Here's my Letterboxd review. I gave it 5 stars, and I said, Duck Dynasty is my comfort show, and this movie was just everything that I wanted it to be. It was vulnerable and real and sad and raw and loving and beautiful. I appreciate how much Kay's story was told as Phil's was. That's true. Like, pause. Everyone like talking about this movie is like, oh, do you know Phil Robertson from Duck Dynasty? It's his story. But this movie really highlights Kay's story as well, and like, she's just so deserving of that. Like, after everything she went through and how tough she was, like, her story is being told as well, and I think that's very important. What a powerful woman, and Amelia Eve did such a phenomenal job. I loved how they subtly incorporated Willie's grandson, John Shepherd, to play his character, a cute Easter egg I recognized right away. What a beautiful story. And Zai's character, well, it wasn't like a beautiful story, but it ended okay, and it's like important, you know. Sai's character was exactly true to his real self. Every time he said, "Hey," and "Jack," especially as a kid, I was smiling. So done. Thank you, Phil, for being vulnerable enough to share such a hard story. Is my opinions on this movie. So yeah, I really liked it. And then the last movie I reviewed, or the last one I'll talk about in this video, was Midsommar or Midsommar. I don't know which way it's actually pronounced. Let me give you guys the movie summary. A couple travels to Sweden to visit their friend's rural hometown for its fabled Midsummer Festival, but what begins as an idyllic retreat quickly dissolves into an increasingly violent and bizarre competition at the hands of a pagan? Yeah. Hands of a pagan cult. Yeah. This movie was basically about a cult. This was one of the ones that I watched because my friends wanted to watch, and I was just like, there. I am not into scary movies at all. I enjoyed watching it like with my friends, but it freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what am I watching, bro? Yeah, so this movie was pretty freaky. I'm not gonna lie. It was good. I'm also not gonna lie. It was good. It was like, the acting was phenomenal. The girl, like the main girl, I don't remember her name, Danny, she was really good. This movie just like wasn't it for me. I just did not enjoy watching it. Like it accomplished what it needed to, I think, because the whole time I was doing this and like reacting. It was yeah. I just don't know what to say, because I think it was good. I think it was well done, but it just made me so uncomfortable, and I was like, oh, I don't like this movie. But I just knew I wouldn't like horror movies anyway. That being said, I didn't want to be completely biased in my rating, because like going in, you should know that you're watching a horror movie, and you should like prepare yourself for that. And that's what it, like, I'm not gonna take off that, I don't know, I'm not gonna be like extra hard on it just because it's not my type of movie. Like, I was trying to judge it for a movie. So that being said, this is what I gave it. I did 3.5 stars. I think originally it was 4, and I changed it to 3.5 because I learned you could do halves. I think that's the only reason why. I don't know. My review was, honestly, this wasn't my type of movie at all, but I can appreciate that it was really well done. The actress Florence Pugh played her character exquisitely. I felt costuming of the movie to be weird at times and random. I also felt the deaths at the beginning of the films were almost glossed over, and if they're as crucial to the plot, then they should have more focus. I'm really not the kind of person to be into scary or unsettling, freaky movies, so this really didn't do it for me. I was highly uncomfortable during multiple parts of the movie, which I'm sure was the point. I felt like it was very long but didn't drag. There was always something engaging going on without exhausting the viewer. Overall, it was really intelligently done in my opinion, but I'd be okay with never watching it again. LOL. That was my review. So with that being said, that is my movie reviews for 5 movies. If you guys like this video, I'd be completely up to doing it again. Just let me know, leave likes and comments. If you have movie suggestions, leave comments. I don't know if you get a vibe from my ratings in this video, but I kind of like more wholesome movies than scary. But whenever you want me to review, I will. I'm no critic. Don't take anything I say seriously. I'm a beginner to movies and films. Completely a beginner. As I was saying, I was never into movies until now. This is just my honest thoughts getting into movies. So yeah, don't be too harsh on me. Don't cancel me for saying 10 things I hate about you is kind of mid. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. So again, please subscribe if you haven't. That means a lot to me. Like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.